knowing I've gotta keep going when life isn't flowing, and I don't know why. I've gotta keep growing, can't just sit here and cry. I'll find solid ground, or I will learn how to fly. Standing at the edge of the life I know, afraid to step forward, can't see what's below. But I've come so far to the top of this hill. Don't wanna go backward, and I refuse to stand still. Faith is knowing I've gotta keep going when life isn't flowing, and I don't know why. I've gotta keep growing, can't just sit here and cry. I'll find solid ground, or I will learn how to fly. I thought life was a lesson, like being in school, and I would be safe if I just played by the rules. But in the blink of an eye, the whole world can change. Ooh. Till nothing's familiar, no sure thing remains. Faith is knowing I've gotta keep going when life isn't flowing, and I don't know why. I've gotta keep growing, can't just sit here and cry. I'll find solid ground, or I will learn how to fly. Faith is knowing I've gotta keep going when life isn't flowing, and I don't know why. Faith is knowing, gotta keep going, life isn't flowing, and I don't know why. I've gotta keep going, can't just sit here and cry. I'm taking a leap, and I will learn how to fly. I'm taking a leap, and I will learn how to fly. I'm taking a leap, and I will fly. I will fly. I will fly.
Good morning, Unity of Payson. Good morning to all of you who are joining us virtually. It's a beautiful day in Payson, and we hope it's a beautiful day where you are as well. As we gather this morning, let's take just a moment to center, to be right here and right now, not in the past, not in the future, nowhere else, but here and now. So breathe with me, breathing in and breathing out, being here now. God of all goodness, we are grateful. We are grateful for the blessings that come to us, that we feel good about. We're grateful even for the challenges because we know that they help us to grow. And we're grateful that that growth is expected, that that's what we were created to do and to be, to grow. And today we emphasize growing in faith, that ability to believe with confidence. So as we gather, bless each one who is here with us. Bless our time together. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. And now we have an opening song. Song in My Soul, Karen Drucker.
There is a song in my soul. It sings, I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings, I am whole. There is a song in my soul. It sings, I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings, I am whole. 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 I am whole, I am whole, I am whole, I am whole. There is a song in my soul, it sings, I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. There is a song in my soul, it sings, I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. I am healed, 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 I am healed. There is a song in my heart, it sings, I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. There is a song in my heart, it sings, I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. I am loved, 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 I am loved. There's a song in my soul, it sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep inside, pure sweet joy. There is a song in my soul, it sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep inside, pure sweet joy. I am joy, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy. I am joy, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy. There is a song in my soul, it sings, I am love. A beaming ray of spirit's light, I am love. There is a song in my soul, it sings, I am love. A beaming ray of spirit's light, I am love. I am love, 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 I am whole, I am whole.
Welcome. It's welcome and connection time and blessing of the visitors. Welcome to Unity of Payson. We're glad you're with us this morning. We want to recognize those who are new to Unity of Payson. If you are here for the first or second time, Tom, you could put the gallery view up. If you would raise your hand so that we may recognize you if you're here for the first or second time. And okay. I don't see any hands raised. I don't see a gallery view either, but that's okay.
Jim and Sue, I think it's their second time with us. Welcome.
Okay, can you tell it?
And Sue Bernhardt.
Yes, Jim and Sue. Welcome, Jim and Sue.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're here.
We invite you to remain after the service concludes to break bread with us. We'll speak about the message of the day and connect with each other. If you'd like to be informed of our weekly activities, we have a Monday e-newsletter. Please leave your email in the chat or go to the contact page at unityofpayson.org and leave us a message. Again, we warmly welcome you. And from our Unity of Payson family, we say together, we love you, we bless you, we welcome you. And now can I have a gallery view, Tom?
It's on her end.
Or gratitudes?
It's on your end, dear. Right corner.
Tom is telling me that it's got to be on your end, Donna. So there we are.
He has to stop the slide share for us to have a gallery view.
So we have it now here. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Gratitudes. We've got the prayer slide up and it's gratitude time. Hey, thank you, Tom. Now we can see each other. We're grateful for those who support Unity of Payson with your time, with your talent, and your treasure. We're grateful for the events of each week. Last week, we had morning cafe, Monday through Saturday at 9:30. Qigong and Tai Chi with Teresa on Sundays and Wednesdays at 4:30. And we had the Power of Now book study and organic gardening at Shanti Olmsted. We're thankful for the technology that helps us to meet both in person and virtually. And right now we have 15 online. So if you have a gratitude to share, please raise your hand if you're online and if you're in person also. And Neal will collect the in-person and I will collect the people online. So
Couple of people in person here. I noticed one in the chat too, but let's start with Adri.
I'm thankful to be here with all the wonderful people here.
Wow, Adrian Garrison, 25th anniversary, and they're happy to be with us. Sylvia.
can you tell us what she said?
I will.
Okay.
I'm so grateful here today.
Okay, so we can't hear. So can you just tell us?
So hold on, we'll get you. Thank you. Sylvia, just to relay it a little bit, I'll try to
Just put one sentence, make it one sentence.
Sylvia says 50 years ago today she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and today she is healthy, long beyond the expectation. And is that good? And for anybody online, go ahead.
We're clapping. Okay. Anybody online would like to share a gratitude? Dave and Linda shared in the chat, grateful for the warm sun this morning. Okay. All right. So we are going to move on to prayer and meditation. If you want to put a gratitude in the chat later and I'll find some time to share it, that'll be great. Unity is grounded in meditation and affirmative prayer. We have trained prayer chaplains to support you. Our chaplains are available to pray with you. You may email your request to Reverend Neal. The address is on the screen. Our prayer team in Silent Unity will join you in prayer for 60 days, 30 days Unity of Payson, and forwarded to Silent Unity for another 30 days, 24/7 prayer at Silent Unity. All prayer requests are held sacred and confidential. We have a prayer box on the table. You can fill out a prayer request and put it in the sacred prayer box also. If you'd like a prayer chaplain to contact you, please leave contact information with your prayer request. And we work with first names only. So if you fill out a prayer request form, please put your first name on the bottom where it says your name. Thank you. Unity of Payson's theme for March is wholeness. Let's say the affirmation together. My body is healthy. My mind is at peace. All is well with my soul. So it is. Today's speaker, Rev Neal Worthington. Title of Reverend Neal's talk is Your Faith Makes You Well. The daily word for today, dominion. It's a new one. Another word for this is power, the power of power. I claim dominion and direct the course of my life. While I may not be able to control what happens outside in my life, I am always free to determine how I will respond. Through my divine faculty of power, I decide what to think, what to say, and how to act. If a thought of fear or powerlessness arises, I remember all the wisdom, understanding, and strength of God. All of that is within me. Whether I'm organizing my day or moving forward after making a life-altering decision, the principle of power is always mine to claim. Knowing this, I move through life with quiet confidence. I am secure in myself and in the knowledge that I am a divine being. I claim divine power and feel my life expand into a field of limitless possibility and potential. From Psalm 8:6, you have given them dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under their feet. Phew, take that one in. Isn't that true? I mean, we live on this planet Earth, and there's a word for Earth as our mother, which is Gaia. The Earth as our mother. Really, Mother Earth. The Earth is our mother. We breathe through the air. We walk on the soil. our heartbeats. And you know, the rhythm of our heartbeat is like the rhythm of the planet, the heartbeat of the planet. If you walk by the beach and you see cliffs, the cliffs look like skin cells, you know? And when you think about it, the planet is a larger picture of what we have inside of us. So I'm just asking you to take a larger perspective. And it can be humbling to see our place in that bigger picture, but it can also feel very empowering because we belong. And so it is. Amen. Now it's time for Reverend Neal to give our message. Oh, no, it's not. It's the first Sunday. I'm sorry about that. It is time for our reviewing our mission and vision statement. Join me in heart, mind, and voice if you are in person as we affirm our mission and vision. Together, we are a welcoming and open-hearted community, inspiring each other to live in love, joy, and service. And our vision statement: we enrich our world through spirit-centered service, positive human connections, and stewardship of all creation. And now our speaker, Rev Neal Worthington, will share his message with us.
Over 130 years ago, the Unity movement began. And here we are 130 years later. But it didn't begin then, it actually began before that, particularly with the co-founders of Unity, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. It's very interesting that from the very beginning, healing and wholeness was a theme that was emphasized. And probably it was because of the stories that the lives of Myrtle and Charles held for us. Charles grew up in Minnesota. We have a Minnesotan here. He grew up in Minnesota, and as a youth, he was injured in a skating accident. For 2 years, he was perilously close to death, but he did survive. But one leg no longer grew, and so he had a leg that was shorter, one shorter than the other. And so that healing he worked with in faith over a period of years, and it changed. But Myrtle particularly grew up in Ohio, was able to attend Oberlin College, which was unusual for women at that point, and but she had been diagnosed with tuberculosis. And the expectancy of her life was not very great. She met Charles, and that's another story, but together they moved here and there, a number of places. They were in business together, and eventually they ended up in Kansas City. They were avid learners, and so they were always studying other religions. They were studying new thought. They were really energized by the transcendentalist, and then beyond that, new thought, things that we would now know as having their origins and were divine science and Christian Science, all of those in that new thought cauldron, so to speak. So they would take every opportunity to learn that they possibly could. And when a gentleman named Dr. E.B. Weeks came to Kansas City to lecture, even though Myrtle was very ill she insisted that they go to hear Dr. E.B. Weeks. And they did. Charles took it all in and added to everything else. Myrtle had a life-changing experience because the one thing that Dr. E.B. Weeks said that she took to heart, that she believed, she just knew it was the truth for her, was this: I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. So she began for the next couple of years working on healing herself because she knew that this was the truth of her being. It's interesting the way she did this, and I want to share just a little bit from a book called The Story of Unity. If anybody wants to borrow this, let me know. It's a great, great read. But here's what Myrtle had to say. It flashed upon me that I might talk to the life in every part of my body and have it do just what I wanted, have dominion, as that daily word said. I began to teach my body and got marvelous results. I told the life in my liver that it was not torpid or inert, but full of vigor and energy. I told the life in my stomach that it was not weak or inefficient, but energetic, strong, and intelligent. I told the life in my abdomen that it was no longer infested with ignorant thoughts or disease put there by myself or by doctors, but that it was all athrill with the sweet, pure, wholesome energy of God. I told that my limbs, that they were active and strong. She goes on, I went to all the life centers in my body and spoke words of truth to them, words of strength and power. And finally, she says, I want everybody to know about this beautiful, true law and to use it. It is not a new discovery, but when you use it and get the fruits of health and harmony, it will seem new to you, and you will feel that it is your own discovery. Well, 2 years after Myrtle encountered Dr. E.B. Weeks and that idea that she did not inherit sickness as a divine creature, she was healed. She did that by talking to her body. She did that by going into a quiet time, sitting in a chair, and sitting a chair opposite herself, in which she envisioned that the master teacher Jesus was there, and she had conversations with Jesus and conversations with her body, and she was healed. So the question comes to us, should I expect to be healed? Shouldn't I just accept my lot in life as it is? What role does faith play in this? And if I'm going on this track of healing, how do I heal myself? Well, those are a couple of things we're going to talk about. I'm going to try to get it all into 20 minutes, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. In the Christian scriptures, there's a story. Well, there are lots of stories about healing, and whether you take those scriptures to be literal, the truth underlying them is undeniable. Here's one of these familiar stories. A woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years came up behind Jesus and touched the edge of his cloak. She said to herself, "If I only touch his cloak, I will be healed." Jesus turned and saw her. "Take heart, daughter," he said, "your faith has healed you." Your faith has healed you. Notice what this story says. The woman did not have her focus on her disease, on her malady, on her illness, but the focus was on just touching the cloak of someone who had shown that this is possible. Someone who gave us the idea that we could heal ourselves. Faith it was she had. And when she did, she was healed. Whether the story is literally true or not does not matter. The truth is there that when we reach out in faith and claim the wholeness that we are, we can be healed. Our prayer chaplains at Unity of Payson try to emulate this idea that we don't look at the disease. When someone requests prayer, and often it's for physical healing, when they request that prayer, we get away from the condition pretty quickly. And we turn to affirmations of the truth, affirmations like the 12 powers, the truth of life, the truth of faith, the truth of love, whatever seems to be applicable. So that physical healing that you desire really depends on your faith and your ability to focus on that which you believe is the truth for you. This was true in Myrtle's experience. All that talking she did to her body wasn't about the disease. It was about the wholeness and the function of each of those organs and cells. There's a wonderful New Thought musician who wrote a little song, a very simple little song, that really is very much like what Myrtle experienced and how she was working with her body. It goes like this. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad. What is it? I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I don't know it as much as well as some of you do. That approach in faith to the positive, turning the mind aside from the negative, turning away from the condition, whatever it may be. The key spiritual truth that I developed as I looked at this topic today was this: as my faith increases, I can heal my body, my mind and emotions, and my spirit. We've emphasized in this first point the physical body, but let me move on. And by the way, they're intertwined: body, mind and emotions, spirit. None of them are isolated from the others. When we think about the mind and the emotions, we think about something often that's broken. The other morning in Morning Cafe, and by the way, if you haven't gotten a chance to sit in on Morning Cafe at 9:30 every morning on this Zoom channel, it's a wonderful time, and you never know what's going to come up, what wisdom will come into that room. One morning this last week, somebody talked about a vase being shattered into many pieces. And I think that's symbolic of mental or emotional disease or dis-ease, that idea of shattering. But you go on to say, if I take those pieces, those fragmented parts of me, and I put them back together again, and with a strong bond, the vase becomes different looking, but probably stronger than ever. So that shattering, that fracturing, is what often we encounter when we talk about mental or emotional dis-ease. One of the teachers that I love is Louise Hay, the late Louise Hay of Hay House Publications. And she wrote a book that was, of course, Heal Your Body. And in this book, she says that there are metaphysical beyond the ordinary, beyond the conventional, underlying metaphysical causations for everything that we experience as dis-ease. I want to share just a couple with them, a couple of those with you so you can get the idea. She talked about the problem, she talked about the probable cause, and then she went on to the positive end of things, and she talked about the affirmation that countered that, the statement of faith, if you will. Let me give you a couple of them. How about insomnia? Anybody have insomnia? Well, from time to time I do. So Louise Hay says that the probable cause of insomnia is fear, not trusting the process of life, guilt. Underlying that physical condition is an emotional or a mental conditioning, and they're tied together. She had a nice affirmation, a faith-building affirmation, I call it, and here it is. I lovingly release the day and slip into a peaceful sleep, knowing tomorrow will take care of itself. How about a stiff neck? You ever had a stiff neck? Louise Hay says if that's the problem, here's the probable cause: the inability to be flexible. Makes sense, doesn't it? And she gives us this affirmation, really simple, but positive. I am peaceful with life. I am peaceful with life. Or maybe even something more emotionally oriented. How about depression? There may be a few of us that have experienced that at one time in our life. And she says that the probable cause for the problem of depression is anger you feel you do not have a right to have. Anger you feel that you do not have a right to have. Hopelessness. And here's her very obvious positive faith-building affirmation. I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. Did you get that? I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. I create my life. I recommend that you get this book. It's a wonderful resource. How many have this book on their shelf? Oh, in here, there's quite a few hands, and I'll bet there is online as well. That mental and emotional disease is often related to our inability to value ourselves as we are valued by the divine. That can turn into self-doubt, self-abuse even. So that inability is what keeps us. How do we go beyond that? We look to the truth of our heritage, the truth of us being divine expressions, having all of those powers that we talk about when we talk about the 12 powers. We are so much more than we believe ourselves to be. There's another scripture in that Christian scriptures in the same chapter of Mark 9, where there's a father that comes to Jesus and says, I have a son that's, he called it possessed. He throws himself into the fire. He causes all sorts of havoc and chaos for us and our family. And Jesus asks the man, do you believe he can be healed? And the man cries out immediately, I believe. Help my unbelief. That faith that we're looking for doesn't come instantly. It's a process of being built. And so we build our faith by staying on the positive sides of things and not looking at the negative, not looking at the condition that's there. So that key spiritual truth would go like this: as my faith increases, I can heal my mind and emotions. And then we go on to spiritually, being healed spiritually. Don't know if you ever felt spiritually deficient, but if you had, there's a healing resource for that. It's related to the others. If you are healed in one of these areas, it's going to affect the others as well, and you will be whole. I'm not talking about faith healing, some kind of a scam. I'm talking about true divine healing available. We don't know it, we don't claim it, we don't get it. So how about the spiritual thing? I like to think of it in terms of wellness. There's an old hymn, Phyllis, you know this by heart time and time again. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. 3 quick things that will go through that gateway of faith. When we go through that gateway of faith, we can focus on these things and move forward in building our faith to be whole, both spiritually, emotionally, and mentally and physically. Those values, those characteristics are peace. Peace is harmony and tranquility derived from the awareness of the divine within. Let me say that again. Peace is harmony and tranquility derived from the awareness of the divine within us. The divine, we wouldn't think of lacking anything. We wouldn't think of the divine as being ill. Well, guess what? In addition to be fully human, we are fully divine. And we have that to claim as well. And then there's love. We studied love last month. We talked about love as an eternal force of good that flows from source to and through all of creation, including us. The eternal force of good that flows from source to and through all creation, including us. And then there's joy. I like the brief description of joy. Divine happiness expressed through us. Divine happiness expressed through us. Now, I have a little bit of an advantage here. The 4th Sunday of this month, the topic will be wholeness and joy. I know this because, well, I'm close to the person who's going to be giving that message, and that's Donna, and she's been working on it already. And she tells me multiple things every day about it. So I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point where I'm expectant with regard to expressing joy, expressing that divine happiness through me. Remember I said it was wellness that I like to think of in terms of spiritual healing. We have something to learn from the Buddhists here. From a Buddhist journal, the optimal condition of health is one achieved when mind and body are functioning well and interacting together as one. Central to the Buddhist approach to health and healing is its emphasis on spiritual strength and on an overriding sense of purpose in life based on compassionate action for others. So there you have it, physical, mental, and emotional, spiritual. You can be healed, you can heal yourself. Remember, the divine is within you. It's not an outside job, a God out there doing something else for you, maybe capriciously if he just happens to be thinking nicely about you that day. No, the divine is within, and you can heal yourself. So how do you do that? How do I do that? I usually try to end up this way. Well, I'm going to suggest a couple of things that kind of come out of my message today. One is to find a chair, put it in a nice quiet place, and sit there for 5 minutes every day. Maybe at first your mind will still be elsewhere, but if you take that chair and that place of quiet, that silence time, if you take that seriously, things will change for you. You'll find yourself looking at things from a positive point of view, not from a horrible condition that your life seems to be supporting at that moment. So number one, find a chair and sit there. Well, you determine the amount of time you want to sit there, but I'm saying 5 minutes for me. I'm going to do that every day. And then the other thing, like Myrtle did, and like Carl Anthony's little song tells us, speak to your body. Speak the words of truth to your body. Tom, can you put that, just in case you don't know it, I'm going to put that lyrics, very simple lyrics, up on the screen. There we go. Every little cell. So I'm going to suggest that you do this. I'm going to sing it again. Then I want you to sing it with me, and this is a catchy tune. It's going to be in your head. I know it's going to be in your head. And we want it there, yes. Well, so, yeah, I'm going to sing it along with you. Come on, Phyllis. Come on up. I'm going to turn the piano. Nothing like a little impromptu approach to things. So I'm going to sing this as Phyllis plays it. So those of you online probably won't hear the piano. Every little cell of my body is happy. Every little cell of my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell of my body is happy and well. You like it? Again. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell, every little cell. Well, once more. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad that every little cell in my body is happy. Well, yeah, go ahead. So I'm sorry, online we may not do this, but Phyllis is going to give us. Let me get a mic up here so they can at least hear you sing. Hold the
We
mic.
can actually hear it. Okay, thank you.
We can't hear you, Neil. We can't hear you.
Thank you, Phyllis. For those of us here, that was a treat, and I apologize that we haven't yet figured out how to get that piano out to you in virtual land. But I think you've got the idea. Let that song simmer in you. Let it marinate. Then you'll be on the positive side of things. Then you'll be looking at the truth and not the condition. Let me just say that key spiritual truth once again. As my faith increases, I can heal my body, my mind and emotions, and my spirit. One of Myrtle Fillmore's contemporaries was a woman named Hannah Moore Cohouse. Hannah wrote a little prayer, and Myrtle liked it so much she put it in a magazine that, anybody remember Wee Wisdom? Yeah, a little magazine Unity put out long ago for kids. And Hannah wrote this poem, and Myrtle loved it, and I love it too, and I just want to share this with you in closing. It's called the Prayer of Faith. God is my help in every need. God does my every hunger feed. God walks beside me, guides my way through every moment of the day. I now am wise, I now am true, patient and kind, and loving too. All things I am, can do, and be, through Christ, the truth that is in me. God is my health. I can't be sick. God is my strength, unfailing quick. God is my all, I know no fear, since God and love and truth are here. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Neal, for that uplifting message. And now it's time to prepare for meditation. As we listen to our meditation song, I Know God.
I am one, simple and plain. No superpowers, no famous name. But I stand tall, 'cause I believe something greater has come alive inside of me. I have felt the Spirit stirring in my soul, deep in my soul. I will give love, I will speak peace, all because of the love that's got a hold of me. So
time for us to spend a little time in quiet. For it is in the silence that faith that allows our healing begins to grow as we go within. So just be still. Notice your breathing and nothing else for these few moments. Go on a little journey. We spoke of a chair. On a journey with me where you find yourself on a cabin in the woods. It's quiet. Nothing but bird song. A hint of water in the distance. And you sit in this chair on the porch of the cabin. Reflection time. And at first, the picture that arises in front of your inner eyes is one of problems, challenges, dis-ease of one sort or another. Don't hold that picture very long. As it's there, let it, acknowledge it, and then let it disintegrate as though it's just waiting for you to see beyond it. And as the wind blows all of the pieces of that picture away, see peace. Feel peace. Let your body be infused with peace. Peace like a gentle river. And then you see love, that immense goodness coming from source to and through you. Love like an ocean. And then somewhere in that panorama, you see almost as though it were a fountain springing up within the panorama, but also within you, joy. Inexplicable, but joy because that's the happiness of God expressing through you. So sit for a moment, savoring peace, love, and joy in the silence. Continue to hold those qualities in you as you step away from this time and this place, and so bring your awareness back to this time and this place. In gratitude, that faith, that ability to believe with confidence had been bumped up just a little bit. It's growing. It's expressing to a greater degree. And we are so, so grateful. Do bring your awareness back to the present and open your eyes if you've closed them. Perhaps wiggle your fingers and your toes to make sure you're back in this world. And so it is. Donna, if you could start again, you're still muted.
Thank you for that uplifting service, meditation, and message, Reverend Neal. I wanted to share some gratitudes in the chat that I said I would. Frosty said she's grateful for Unity of Payson and studying the daily word each day and getting to know and support people in depth, and that it's fun. Joanne said, great sermon, very positive, and wanted you to know that, Reverend Neal. And Kay from Alabama said, very grateful for this beautiful day. She's grateful that her fall from a ladder yesterday did not result in any injury. And thank you all for being the light. And David and Linda said, thank you, Pastor. Good health to you all. So with that being said, now it is time for our gifts and tithes. Unity of Payson is grateful for your gifts in support of this ministry. As you listen to the offering song, you'll have time to make a contribution. Information for giving is on the slides. You can go to unityofpayson.org and click on the donate button or tab. We greatly appreciate your gifts. You can also donate via text. So let's bring our attention to our gift at this time and call to mind our heart's desires. Do we desire faith? Do we desire love, peace, and joy? Do we desire the fruits of the Spirit? Well then, let us blossom so we can produce them. Let's affirm together. Freely we give, and freely we receive. I am the place where God shows up, our offertory song.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God. You are the place. Moves and breathes and has we are the place where God shows up. I am the place.
Wow, I really like that song. And had plenty of time to make a donation at unityofpayson.org. So we're grateful for these gifts. We're grateful for the givers. We bless these gifts and we bless the givers as we say together our dedication of the offering. Divine love flowing through us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. We are abundantly prosperous, and we give thanks. So it is. Unity of Payson's theme for March continues, wholeness. And the affirmation, my body is healthy, my mind is at peace, all is well with my soul. And Reverend Neal will be our speaker next Sunday, and the title of his talk is Undiminished, Undivided, and Complete. And we will have live music by Daniel Nahmod next Sunday. He will be in person at the church, and he will also give us a concert in the sanctuary the same day. I will announce that in just a moment. Upcoming events. The book study, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, continues, led by Reverend Neal on Wednesday from 3 to 4:15 p.m. in Fellowship Hall and on Zoom. It will continue through March 22nd on Wednesdays. And we have A Course in Miracles, also with Reverend Neal, Tuesday, March 7th and 21st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. And we have the Concert for Kindness featuring Daniel Nahmod in person at the Payson United Methodist Church Sanctuary, which is in the same building that we meet on Sundays, but in a nice, larger auditorium sanctuary from 4 to 6 p.m. That's Sunday, March 12th. Mark your calendar, next Sunday. And we have PS from Neal.
So I just want to really emphasize, this is your chance. This is a marvelous chance. If you've never sat in front of Daniel Nahmod when he's with us, he has a unique ability to be able to connect with us and to convey a message that gets right to the heart. So be here. He's also just a fantastic musician. So you're going to love that experience. And the concert, of course. It's a community-wide concert. So that is not a Unity of Payson event, but it's a community-wide event as we talk about the kindness initiative that we're working with. And you'll hear more and more about that. Also, the next week and the following week, we will not be on Zoom for the morning service. We do that because we have not been able to figure out, after hours and days and maybe even months of trying, how to put the live music through in a quality way. So the service will be, however, streamed on YouTube Live. And we'll send out a link for that so you can easily get there. We'll also put a link on our website so you can go. Same time, you'll be able to interact in a slightly different way, but we really want you to be able to experience live music through Daniel this coming Sunday, and the following Sunday, Phyllis will be here with us at the piano, and we'll be able to put that out there when we're streaming. So I don't think I've got any, a couple of things. If you haven't noticed yet, and do this when you're back there, if those of you are in person, for those of you who are online, it's somewhat different. There may be community events that aren't strictly Unity of Payson events, but that are allied with what we're doing, and we'll put them up. Leslie has one, a flyer there about a plant-based cooking experience that you can get in on. So take a look at that back there on the table. You'll also see it in our newsletter, and it comes out. We'll let you know about that as well. So for those of you who are online, pay attention to that newsletter. Pay attention to the announcements that are on the website. You can always go there and take a look because there's so much happening, and we want you to be able to get in on it all. It is Birthday Sunday, and those of us who are here in person, as we gather for our potluck, we're going to sing happy birthday to those who are the month of March. And but now we'll go to the closing of our service, and if those of you who are here can join in the circle, and those of you who are with us virtually, sing along the peace song.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as Creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, this is my joyous thought. I take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power, and the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you who are with us virtually, we're not going to have our usual breaking bread time, but I do want to greet you. So hang in here for just a minute. Everybody else is streaming to the potluck at the back of the room. So, Tom, if you, oh, we've got this up here. Somehow I'm going to just speak with you. You can feel free to as well. Um, so hold on just a second. I'm getting my,
We're on gallery view on the monitor. Should be gallery view, Neil.
I'm just getting, there we go. Just getting where I can see it here. The connection has come loose on the monitor. But let me just say hello again to Jim and Sue. Delighted that you're here with us. I appreciate that. If you want to say anything, anybody, please feel free to unmute and say something. Kay from Alabama, Teresa is it? Teresa's got your hand up. Talk away, Teresa.
Thank you. I want to remind everybody that, yes, there's Qigong today if you want to join in at 4:30 Arizona time. But the 2 dates in March that there will not be Qigong are Sunday, March 12th, because of the Daniel Nahmad concert, and Wednesday, March 15th, because I will be out of town. But aside from those 2 days, there will be Qigong practice every other Sunday and Wednesday. Thank you.
Great. Dave and Linda and Tonto Basin, thank you so much for being here and interacting with us. Like those little notes in the chat is appreciated very much. Ed Ichek is here from way down south where it's much warmer than it is up here. TJ and Maroney, wave at me. It's good to see you. Frosty, Debbie and Charlotte, wave there too. And Scott, right? That Scott is Claudette's husband, in case someone didn't know. So we're waving at you, Scott and Claudette. And it's delightful to be here. I'm just going to open it up for anybody else that's got anything to say. This is going to be our abbreviated breaking bread. I see kisses being sent our way. And again, I'm so delightful that you're with us today. It's so delightful. And we will see you again soon. If not before then, we'll see you next week for Daniel Nahmad here. Thanks.